Let's do the Is This English, Aaron. Let's pull that up. Is This English for the day? I used this for Is This English, but this clip has actually got a lot of attention for what they, I guess, determined Biden said. The only thing that I could make out that was English in this. But let's just, let's see what you guys think. Roll that.
I was just thanking, anyway, I started off without you. And I sold a lot of state secrets and a lot of very important things that we shared.
That was pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
Well, the first half, I was like, this is a perfect, what is he, who's he talking to and what the hell's he saying?
And
then he blurts out, I sold a bunch of state secrets, and I guess we should all go, ha, 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 good one. But given what this guy's, I mean, did he do it on your burner phone?
Yeah.
Did you sell the state secrets? Sold a lot of state secrets, Joe says. In the middle of what he's in the middle of right now, that we find out he's got a burner phone that he used to communicate with anyone all over the world that was paid for by his son's company and probably written off on those taxes he didn't file.
Well,
along with the hookers.
Yeah, according to the tax records, $300 a month for Joe Biden's world phone. It's a world phone. You can reach anybody anywhere in the world.
Yeah. And if Congress hasn't subpoenaed those records by tonight, I don't really know what to say. I mean, I you know what I'm saying. Whatever they have to go through to get them subpoenaed. I mean, if that's not on their radar for like immediately. I mean, I don't know what could be more important than to get those records. I mean, what could be more important than getting those records to see the whole web here?
Right.
Who he was talking to, how often.
Yeah, especially when you're starting to find out. And I think it was James Comer was he talking to Maria Bartiromo over the weekend?
He usually is.
About way more money than you've already heard about. Like, way more money. Like, there's money from countries they haven't even touched on yet. And more money from China that they haven't touched upon yet. So many wires. And man, oh man, I think Joe Biden's got a little bit of a problem. That's why I said, when I showed up and you said, hey, what's going on? I said, I missed the bus. The bus that they're getting ready to push Joe Biden under. Because all the placards on this bus contain CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, you name it. The mainstream media is now asking questions. Why? Because they know he's damaged. They can't hide it anymore. So they better get on board because they got to get ready for the next one. They're going to try and sell you. They'll tell you a little bit of truth, and then to set you up for the big lie they want to tell you later.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because in my scouring around for things to read and try to be knowledgeable on what's going on in the world, I came across David Catrone's new piece, and it is entitled just that. Was last week the beginning of the end for Joe Biden? The most ominous sign involves the behavior of who? Of the corporate media. And he says something changed last week inside the Beltway that suggests the people who run the Democratic Party are now realizing that President Biden's tenure in office is not sustainable beyond 2024. The tell was not, however, the latest revelation by IRS whistleblowers about his corrupt administration. It was instead the sudden awakening of the White House press corps. The same reporters who snored through more than 2 years of preposterous claims by Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and her predecessor.
Did you say Grey Poupon?
Simultaneously woke up on Friday. And we played this clip. Correspondents from media outlets of CNN, CBS, NBC, and even the New York Times aggressively questioned Jean-Pierre about the metastasizing Hunter Biden scandals. This wasn't spontaneous. The word has gone out that the regime change is coming. Thus, the news, quote-unquote, outlets that usually repeat Biden's claim that he and his son never discuss Hunter's business dealings actually reported the testimony of IRS whistleblowers who alleged political interference in their Hunter Biden investigation. CBS, for example, ran an unusually honest story about the whistleblowers that prominently included full transcripts of their testimony before the House Ways and Means Committee. The committee released the transcripts after it was announced that Hunter Biden had agreed to a plea deal to misdemeanor tax charges. The two IRS whistleblowers testified that he committed felony tax evasion. There isn't the slightest possibility that CBS or any of the media outlets noted above would have run a story like this even just a year ago. Nor would any member of the corporate media have pressed Attorney General Merrick Garland aggressively enough for him to angrily characterize legitimate questions about the Department of Justice as, quote, an attack on an institution that is essential to American democracy and essential to the safety of the American people, end quote. And if you remember, we covered that last, I believe it was on Friday when he said that.
Yep.
Karine Jean-Pierre, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby, they're not accustomed to probing questions, and he clearly doesn't like answering them. It will nonetheless be difficult to avoid additional queries from a press corps that has been now let off its leash. So this is just to your point, Delgado.
Yeah. There's blood in the water. Right?
And it keeps coming a little quicker and quicker every day, every week, the more we find out.
Yeah.
And again, this burner phone has got to be on the target in the scope of the GOP. And that's got to be what they go after next.